All right, so we're diving into Act 1, Scene 1 of Hamlet.
Ooh, this is a good one.
It is, right? This is where it all kicks off.
It really is, yeah.
So much to unpack here.
Oh, absolutely. The scene, I mean, just think about it. We're dropped right into Elsinore Castle.
At midnight.
Midnight, freezing cold.
And, like, you can just feel the tension.
You can feel it in the air, the sense of unease.
Shakespeare doesn't waste any time.
No, he doesn't.
Like, from the first line.
Right away, something's not right.
Exactly. And we meet these guards, Barnardo and Francisco.
Kitchen shift.
Yeah, and you get the feeling that they're on edge right away.
Definitely on edge, like they've seen something.
Yeah, they're like looking over their shoulder.
Exactly. And then Horatio and Marcellus show up. And
They're there for a reason.
they're not just random guys. These are friends of Prince Hamlet.
Yeah, they're connected. And I think it's interesting that they brought Horatio.
Scholar.
Right, they specifically want him to talk to the ghost.
Which tells you something, right?
Yeah.
About the Elizabethan era and how they viewed ghosts.
It wasn't just some spooky campfire story.
No, ghosts were serious business.
So imagine you're standing on the castle walls, middle of the night, freezing, and suddenly you see a ghost.
And not just any ghost.
The ghost of King Hamlet.
It's like a walking, talking reminder of everything that's been lost.
And it's just standing there silent.
Refusing to answer Horatio's questions.
Which, by the way, are good questions.
Oh, yeah. Horatio gets right to the heart of it. He asks the ghost, "Why are you here?
Is this for good or evil?
What do you want?"
I mean, those are the big questions, right?
Absolutely. The questions that the whole play revolves around.
We're talking revenge justice, the uncertainty of the afterlife.
All these huge themes are introduced right there in those first few lines.
Shakespeare's throwing down the gauntlet.
He really is, and that silence from the ghost adds another layer, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like a challenge, like, okay, you want answers, you got to work for it.
Exactly. It raises the stakes, and then you've got all this talk about Norway and war preparations going on in the background.
So what's the deal with that?
Well, this is where the political landscape of Denmark comes in.
Okay, give me the rundown.
King Hamlet's dead, remember?
Right, recently dead.
And there's this young Fortinbras of Norway.
Ambitious.
Very ambitious. He wants to reclaim the land his father lost to King Hamlet.
So Denmark's kind of like a powder keg right now.
Yeah, very unstable, and then bam, enter Ghost.
Talk about bad timing.
The Ghost's appearance is like adding fuel to the fire. It's connected to all this political unrest.
It's like the ghost is a symbol of the turmoil in Denmark.
Exactly. It's not just a personal tragedy, it's a national crisis.
It reminds me of when Horatio talks about all the weird stuff that happened in Rome before Julius Caesar was assassinated.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
Like Shakespeare's giving us a warning sign.
Definitely foreshadowing something bad is coming.
Master of suspense.
Oh, absolutely. He keeps us on the edge of our seats, but then just when it seems like the ghost might actually speak,
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
the rooster crows and poof, the ghost is gone.
It's like even nature is against them.
It's that old Elizabethan belief that ghosts can only roam at night.
Oh. So even though the ghost disappears, the impact lingers, right?
Right, absolutely. And it's Horatio who suggests they tell young Hamlet about it.
They figure maybe he'll have more luck getting the ghost to talk.
That's where Shakespeare leaves us hanging at the end of this scene.
With a whole lot of questions.
Yeah, what will Hamlet do? Will he believe them? How will he react? It's the question that drives the whole playwright. What will Hamlet do?
Yeah, Shakespeare really knows how to hook an audience.
Oh, he's a master at it.
He sets up all this intrigue, this world on the brink of chaos, and then bam, he just leaves us hanging.
It's brilliant, though, isn't it? It makes you want to keep reading to find out what happens next.
Exactly, and it's not just the big picture stuff either. It's those little details that Shakespeare throws in that really add depth.
Oh, absolutely. Like those little hints about King Hamlet's character, even though he's already dead.
Yeah. Like, remember that line about his armor?
Such was the very armor he had on when he the ambitious Norway combated.
It's like a little reminder of the conflict with Norway tying the ghost's appearance to this bigger political struggle.
It shows that the past is very much present in this play.
Yeah, those old wounds haven't healed. And then there's that other line about King Hamlet frowning.
So frowned he once when in an angry parley he smote the sledded poleaxe on the ice.
Sledded poleaxe? What does that even mean?
It's basically saying that King Hamlet was fighting the Poles who were on sleds.
On ice.
Yeah, it paints this vivid picture of him as a warrior king, a powerful figure.
Which makes his death even more suspicious, right?
Exactly. If he was so strong, how did he die?
Was it natural causes, or was there something more sinister going on?
Shakespeare definitely plants those seeds of doubt.
He makes you question everything. Was the ghost's appearance a warning? a plea for justice, or something else entirely?
Those are the questions that are going to haunt Hamlet.
And us as we read the play?
Absolutely.
I'm starting to see why this is called a tragedy. It's like one event leads to another, and the consequences are just devastating.
It's a chain reaction.
And the language Shakespeare uses, it's so powerful.
Oh, it's incredible the way he creates this atmosphere of unease and suspense.
Yeah, every word is carefully chosen.
Adding to the layers of meaning and imagery.
Like that line, "A mote it is to trouble the mind's eye."
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's such a simple image,
Yeah,
a tiny speck of dust, but it says so much about how even the smallest things can have a huge impact.
and it foreshadows how Hamlet himself is going to be troubled by what he sees and hears.
The ghost's appearance, the whispers of foul play,
It's all going to weigh heavily on his mind, driving his actions.
leading to his downfall.
Tragic.
So we've got this ghost, this political crisis, all these unanswered questions, and Shakespeare's incredible use of language.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we need to keep in mind as we're reading this scene?
Well, I think it's important to remember that this scene isn't just about setting the stage and introducing characters.
There's more to it than that.
Oh, yeah. It's about raising those big questions that are going to drive the entire play.
It's like the first chapter of a mystery novel.
Exactly. Shakespeare's drawing us into this world of secrets and uncertainty.
And making us want to know more.
That's the genius of it, and the best part is it's accessible to everyone.
Even if you're not a Shakespeare expert.
Exactly. Whether you're a seasoned scholar or a first-time reader, there's something here for everyone to grapple with.
So for those of us who are about to jump into a classroom discussion about Act 1, Scene 1, any advice on how to really stand out?
Well, first off, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Good advice.
Shakespeare's work is meant to be explored, debated, analyzed.
The more questions you ask, the more you'll understand.
Exactly. It's not about having all the answers. It's about being curious and engaging with the text.
I love that. And what about those little details we were talking about?
Pay attention to them. Every word, every image, every interaction between characters is significant.
It's like putting together a puzzle.
Exactly. Each piece contributes to the bigger picture.
Shakespeare's challenging us to be active readers, not just passively reading the words.
You got to dig deeper. Look for those hidden meanings and connections.
And try to visualize it right.
Oh, absolutely. Remember, this is a play meant to be performed.
So picture it on stage.
The actors, the costumes, the lighting.
That can really bring the text to life.
And help you connect with the emotions and the drama. It's like he's speaking directly to us across the centuries, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing how these themes of power, ambition, betrayal, they still resonate so strongly today.
Timeless human struggles.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Act 1, Scene 1 of Hamlet.
Already. Feels like we just started.
I know, right? Time flies when you're having fun with Shakespeare, but let's make sure we hit those key takeaways for our listeners.
What should they absolutely remember from this scene?
Well, first off, the setting.
Elsinore Castle at midnight.
It's cold, it's dark. There's this sense of foreboding.
Shakespeare creates that atmosphere immediately.
It's like he's saying, all right, buckle up, something's about to go down.
And then, of course, we have the ghost.
And a big event.
The mystery that sets the whole play in motion.
Why is it there? What does it want? Will it speak?
These are the questions that are going to stay with us as we read on.
And we can't forget about the political situation.
Denmark's on edge.
Young Fortinbras waiting in the wings.
Padding to the tension.
It's like Shakespeare saying personal tragedies don't happen in a vacuum.
They're always intertwined with bigger conflicts.
And then there's Horatio.
Trying to reason with the ghost.
But it just stays silent.
That silence speaks volumes, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, like there are secrets here that only Hamlet can uncover.
Which brings us to the ending of the scene.
The cliffhanger.
They decide to tell Hamlet about the ghost.
What's he going to do?
We have to keep reading to find out.
So if you're about to discuss this scene in class, remember, pay attention to the details.
Every word, every image, every interaction.
They all matter.
Think about the themes Shakespeare's exploring.
Power, ambition, revenge.
The nature of truth.
The uncertainty of the afterlife.
And don't forget the historical context.
The Elizabethan era, their beliefs, their fears.
It all adds layers of meaning.
And most importantly, don't be afraid to share your own interpretation.
There's no one right answer when it comes to Shakespeare.
It's all about engaging with the text, finding your own meaning in it.
Think about the characters. Put yourself in their shoes.
What would you do if you were in Hamlet's situation?
It's a play that's meant to challenge you, to make you think.
And ultimately to help you understand yourself a little bit better.
So dive in, explore, and most of all, enjoy the ride.
Hamlet's a wild one.
One of the best.
See you next time for our next deep dive.
Can't wait.